Ever since our owners took over, we have had a lot of managers through the door in a short space of time, and we have basically called all of them yes men, especially Pochettino, Graham Potter. But for me, Enzo Maresca is taking the first place here so far. Today I feel like it was obvious he was either handed a script or he had a meeting with the owners and they explained, you're gonna get these points out and get the fans to sort of believe again so we can buy more time. Because throughout the whole season, Maresca has mentioned that we're not in a title race. The owners have never told me that we are that we have to reach top 4 in Champions League football. And all of a sudden, when the protest is around the corner against Southampton, owners might feel pressure. Believe me, they seeing everything, and now Maresca has contradicted himself in the press conference, and you can read it for yourself here. Maresca says, we now have 30 games to go. The target is to finish in top 4, to finish in the best way. But that was not the language he was speaking throughout the season. Maybe he has been told by the owners to say this to please the fans. But that just clarifies me deep inside that he is an absolute yes man to 110%. He doesn't have ambitions for himself, because otherwise, even if the owners didn't say he needs to reach top 4, he should have known that he is at Chelsea Football Club and we always have high standards, and reaching Champions League football is a minimum every single season. I mean, if Maresca managed to deliver that job, give us Champions League football, I mean, fair enough, then he has done an amazing job, but I'm not a fan of him in the current moment. He also talked about that it is difficult moments. Probably one of the most important reasons why it's difficult is because of the injury situations. Significant players are out. Pochettino was dealt with injuries, other teams are there as well, and of course it will affect you to some degree, especially if you're losing key players. We lost Fofana, Lavia, even Madueke is out now. Nico Jackson is out, and another couple of guys. We have been on a bad form now for several weeks, ever since the Christmas period. Let's continue persisting going with this way. We utilizing inverted fullbacks that either making this makeshift back three that either joins the midfield or the attack. Utilizing players in roles that doesn't really suit the players. For me, I want the manager to take accountability and responsibility, and Maresca is not doing that whatsoever. He's hiding now behind injuries. Like, he needs to find a plan B and do something different. He can't just continue in the same way. He's making a few tweaks here and there, but our attack has completely been nullified. Last game we didn't even have a shot on goal. We're leaking goals left, right and center because of mistakes or because we have a too high line. Despite being halfway through the season, Maresca has still not fixed that issue. Maresca is the coach. He's the one laying out the foundation, tactics, instructions. And it is a problem when you don't also have experienced players that can bring down the stress levels, that can be calm, composed in difficult situations. As much as I'm disappointed in Maresca, I also have understanding that he hasn't been backed whatsoever. He hasn't got a single signing he asked for. Also enlightened us with that it's his duty to bring the best out of the players in their best positions, and then you need quality from them. Of course, the players also have a responsibility to do the best and improve, but if you continuously playing them in certain positions and roles they can't play in, of course their performance is going to drop. Maresca is definitely not playing some of these players in their best position. We all can agree on that. James can't invert into the midfield. He can make shift to a back three to some extent. Nkunku is not a striker. Enzo Fernandez is not a half space player. For me, I would prefer using him in deeper areas of the pitch because He's too slow, and his backtracking is not good enough if you're gonna play that sort of box-to-box role. The way to solve the situation in terms of Maresca, I would suggest that he would try to change things around and make it more simple for the players. Now we should also be full rested, so there's no excuse to that we're tired or fatigued. I mean, Aston Villa just played for like 2-3 days ago. We should be fully rested, and we should put up a high intensity and high press. So I feel like Maresca has to try and do something new. And we know Madueke will be out for a month, which is very alarming, of course. Another player out, and that only leaves us with 3 wingers in the current moment, which is Pedro Neto, Sancho and Tyreek George. We still have Jackson out, which means either Palmer and Kunku will play as a false 9. And I'm gonna jump into Football Manager and sort of explain what I would do. Now we're on Football Manager, and I would like Maresca to change to just a simple 3-4-2-1. Just simplify it for the players. Please, Maresca. You can still get your foundations and principle in this lineup. I'm very tired of this inverted fullback stuff. I feel like we're becoming inverted FC. Sometimes we are brief FC as well. And hospital FC. All this kind of stuff. Jorgensen will be the goalkeeper for me. I'm not trusting Robert Sanchez. Jorgensen had an off day against Brighton, but basically every player had that. That game will pass for me, and I give him another chance. As my 3 centre backs, I'm gonna have Chalobah as the wide left centre back, Tosin in the middle, and Reece James as his wide centre back that can have a fluid and flexible role, that can join midfield and underlap in the half space to really confuse the Aston Villa defense. We are too static and predictable on the Maresca when we're holding in possession and attacking. We need to do some things differently, some things that is unexpected. Will has simply not been good enough for me. He's been out of form now, making mistakes basically every game. Chalobah has been okay. Hasn't been too convinced with him, even though I was very happy that we recalled him back. But I give him another opportunity next to Tosin. I think they have a great partnership. So this is the back 3 I will have, and I will rest Levi Colwill for this game. As my wingbacks, I'm gonna have Malo Gusto on the right hand side, Marc Cucurella on the left hand side. Just make it simple, Maresca. Gusto is a fantastic pacey fullback and a wingback that can bomb up and down. And he's pretty good in 1-versus-1 situation as well. Can deliver in low driven crosses. I'm very tired of seeing him doing this inverted fullback role. And then people are complaining why he performs so bad. Cucurella on the left hand side, no doubts about it. The pivot for me will consist of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. We don't have any other choice. I would prefer seeing Enzo Fernandez being utilized in a more deeper position, helping Caicedo dominating the midfield with their vision and passing abilities. Caicedo cover Enzo Fernandez up. And if Enzo Fernandez needs to track back or lose possession, he has 3 defending players behind him to cover up, as well as a Caicedo next to him. I don't really like Enzo Fernandez being so advanced up on the Maresca and occupying one of these left half space roles. Because he has problem in the press, he has problem tracking back. Although when it comes to creating chances and making passes and finding his teammates, he's doing a fantastic job there. One of the best passers in the league, that's for sure. Continue with Cole Palmer as the false 9, who can drop down, interchange with these players, and will become very fluid here with a front 3. Palmer is very creative, more creative than Neto and Nkunku, and that's why I would have him as a false 9. Want to see Nkunku being utilized in his absolute best position. This is his best role in my opinion, either as an attacking midfielder or as a shadow striker on the left hand side in a 3-4-2-1. This is where we saw his best football in this role in Leipzig. As my left cam or sort of winger that can also drift outside, it's gonna be Pedro Neto for me. Why I would prefer Neto than Sanchez? Because for me, Sanchez is a creative player, as I explained in previous videos. We already have that in abundance in terms of Enzo Fernandez and Palmer. I think we only need 1-2 creative players in this team. I want instead a runner, someone that's gonna cut inside, have a shot that is pacey, is willing to run behind the back line. So Neto is out of form as well, but I think this is a role he was familiar with under when he was playing for Wolves. They were playing a 3-4-2, 1-3-4-3. He can drift that wide, he can run in behind, cut inside. I think we will be more, well, when you simplify things for these players in this current moment, I think we will look much more balanced in the attack and when we're pressing as well as when we are attacking. What we need is that when Palmer decides to drop down deep, we need Neto and Nkunku to run in behind, making runs. Last game we had barely any player making any runs. It was too easy for Brighton to defend. Everyone was gonna drop down into the midfield and help out, but nobody was staying up here or made runs in behind the opposition backline. So we need players to be brave and make movements. Aston Villa hasn't won in the last 5 games in Premier League. It could play into our favor, however they are very strong at home. Unai Emery, excellent manager. Ole Watkins is in stunning form. He's a player we definitely need to watch out for. We simply need to see lesser mistakes, more urgency. We need to be stronger defensively and in the final third. We cannot perform the way we did against Brighton, then we're gonna get destroyed. If Maresca is willing to change stuff, simplify things for the players, I could see us drawing 1-1, or that we could actually come out and collect a victory and win 2-1. I'm also gonna be honest, like there have been little uploads recently, but it's so difficult to talk about tactics, lineups, Chelsea in the current moment because we are in depressing days, especially under this ownership. I don't like them whatsoever and I'm all for a protest. Like the soul of Chelsea slowly dying, and I hope things will turn around. Honestly, the only thing I have is hope left. So this is going to be it for the match preview, and thank you so much for watching. If you're brand new here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell so you never miss when the content drops and Chelsea explains out. Bye.